Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. Super Bowl 57. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time. And not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago. But this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
The stage is finally set, and here we go. Super Bowl 57 is underway. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them out, the third-year player from Oklahoma by way of Alabama, Jalen Hurts.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Second down, back to Sanders. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate. Receiver from the ball.
Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And he spoke very eloquently and passionately on media day about what a victory here would mean for him. He knows this just isn't any other game. This is the kind of game that stays with you for a lifetime. If there's anyone on this field tonight who's most ready for this moment, I think it's this man right here.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They go play fake. Mahomes going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Back deep is Boston Scott. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl's unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Hurts. Now he'll escape to his left. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Here's Brett Kern now, standing just outside his own goal line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right, then angle his way up the field, and a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco taking it in from the 20. And the Chiefs are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. And I'm sure for these guys, the break from the conference championship to the Super Bowl seems so long. To get out here and score that first touchdown has to take some tension out of the game.
Oh, I love the point you just made about the gap between. Think about the pressure that is built in the interim. To come out and get the first points in the Super Bowl, fantastic for the team.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. And out come the Eagles. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Hurts going deep here for Watkins. And that's caught inside the 35. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. Well, welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Again, that's Watkins. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Back to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown from 8 yards out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the Super Bowl at 7. And they just powered it in right there, Charles. 3 tight ends out on the field. The fullbacks for the defense, they knew what was coming.
They knew, but they weren't able to stop them. They knew they had to meet them with a little bit of force. But on that play, the big guys up front won the day.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A drive that time of 6 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And incomplete on the deep ball.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Mahomes. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Understandably, pass rushers keyed up for this Super Bowl, but you can't do that.
And let's face it, no one wants to lose one of these quarterbacks early in this game, so you know they're going to be protected by the officials.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They go draw play to McKinnon. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. Touchdown! Mecole Hardman, the 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs have moved out in front. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the second.
Well, let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you get a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now can they keep that momentum going? And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Hurts throws complete to Goddard. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15. First and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. On first down, Mahomes. Pass incomplete. Well, Travis Kelce unable to pull it in. And that'll bring up second down. Here's McKinnon on the draw. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Looking for Kelce on the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season of football, but it's not over yet. One half remains to decide who will stand on the podium with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And to call the second half, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied. What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some stats get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half, and I think they'll be all right.
Second down, McKinnon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. T.J. Edwards gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. After the sack on first down, Mahomes. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 21-14. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. Finding room at midfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Throwing again on second down. Hurts, open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. On first down, Hurts. Got a man, it's Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3rd and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Watkins. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And this Super Bowl has been as good as advertised. Probably one of the best that we've seen in recent memory. All even here in this fourth quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes. On the slant, he's got Hardman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And get... what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. A carry for the fullback. This is Mike Burton. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the fourth quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Hurts and the Eagles now. Down 28-21, 2:23 to play. And they have to have a touchdown to level this Super Bowl as they come up on first down. Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Quick slant here to Smith, and he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. He'll look to throw. And once again, this is Sanders. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.